A best-case scenario in Denver. It's the coach. This is Week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, former Viking Case Keenum makes his debut in orange and blue as his Broncos take on the rebuild defense of the Seattle Seahawks. I'll be back at halftime with a look at the other games that are going on. But first, we're off to the Rockies. Standing by, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Just a short time ago, sounds loud enough to reverberate across the Rockies. They're ready for football in Denver as the Broncos get set to do battle with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
No more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be brought out by their Pro Bowl QB in his 7th year now in the Emerald City. It's Russell Wilson.
So knowing the style of offense that Seattle favored or has favored during Russell Wilson's time there, raise your hand if you thought you'd see him lead the league in touchdown passes.
My hand's down right now.
That's what I thought. He only had 21 in 2016, so we didn't see that part coming. The Seahawks missed the playoffs for the first time in Russell Wilson's tenure last season, but expect that to change going forward.
Yeah, 34 touchdown passes last year on the heels of the 21 you mentioned the season before. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
And that means my eyes go to Doug Baldwin out on the perimeter. He plays the game so hard and with such passion, but also plays it skillfully. Only one drop last season on his way to another Pro Bowl season.
Second and 10 now, Wilson. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. It'll be Case Keenum leading him onto the field, making his first start in a Denver Bronco uniform.
And at the 2018 draft, when the Broncos number came up at 5, plenty of chatter that they might take a quarterback right there. Remember, Josh Allen was still on the board. Josh Rosen was still on the board. But the Broncos made a commitment to Case Keenum in free agency, and they're living up to it. Did not take a quarterback in that slot. Going to ride with their new number 4, Case Keenum.
He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Keenum on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. The offensive lineup now, and the guy we highlight, Emmanuel Sanders.
You can use him in any spot as a wide receiver. In the slot, out wide. It doesn't matter. He just makes plays.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Keenum again here on 2nd and 10. And that's the first NFL catch for Cortland Sutton. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Keenum to throw again. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Well, it's just been an aerial attack all the way downfield, and they're putting it to the defense in a big way right now. What do you think, partner? Do you now run the football? Because they're in a pretty good spot already at the outer edges of the field goal.
But, like you always tell me, you're still far enough away from the end zone that a pass could be a good option here, too.
You know, we always talk about running the ball until people take it away from you. I don't see any reason to stop throwing it until they take it away from you as well.
Well, the early returns here on the opening drive, though, solid. On 1st and 10, here's Keenum. Letting one go deep for the end zone. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
And middle linebacker Bobby Wagner, he's playing the absolute perfect position. He's the type of guy that you build around. A cornerstone of a defense, his ability to play the run, the pass, and his leadership skills, you get the full package with him.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now the former Utah man, this is Devontae Booker. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
The first NFL carry here for the rookie Royce Freeman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Keenum now on 3rd and goal. Accelerating, and off he goes. He's at the 50, the 30, the 20, And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Sebastian Janikowski on for the PAT. Janikowski adds the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. These Broncos coming off 2 years of not making the playoffs after winning Super Bowl 50. And last year in Vance Joseph's first season, they went 5-11, had an 8-game losing streak. Now, look, the defense remained elite. But the quarterback carousel, the general lack of offensive production really led to a disappointing 2017.
And in order for them to reverse that, they've got to continue to play to their strength, which is their defense. And they did that by drafting Bradley Chubb at number 5 overall, the defensive end out of North Carolina State. Gives them extra pass rushers. But on offense, they made a peace offering to their defense by signing Case Keenum at quarterback. That should calm down that position and open up possibilities on the offensive side of the ball.
An update now from out in Southern California. And it's the Chiefs that have grabbed the early lead over the Chargers. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. A second down carry for Booker. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Earl Thomas in on the stop.
He may be playing free safety while wrapped up in a corner's body, but Earl Thomas is the best center fielder in the game. He cleans up everything back there as far as I'm concerned. I think he just has intelligence, understands things, and boy, is he tough.
3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Booker on 1st down. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. After the interception, here's Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. And here's a look at the defense for Denver.
The undisputed star of this defense is Von Miller, who was the Super Bowl 50 MVP, had 10 sacks in 2017. He's had double-digit sacks 6 times in a 7-year career. And how about a little cherry on top of the sundae? The defensive MVP of the Pro Bowl last season.
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They'll run with McKissick. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on third and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, we got beef eaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu, I'll tell you that much for free. And Janikowski bangs it through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now Case Keenum and the offense heading back onto the field. He'll look to shake off the interception on the opening drive. He should at least be comforted that it resulted in 3, not 6.
And if I were him, I would be the guy all the way out on the field greeting my defense now, saying thanks a lot. You held them to a field goal after I turned it over. That's a big defensive stand for them. He needs to go out now and make up for what he did on the first drive.
And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football. Let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game. Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Booker on the counter. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. They'll hand off to Booker. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
On the handoff, this is Booker. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The tackle made by K.J. Wright.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. 10-zip our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here. Now it's Keenum here off the bootleg. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Freeman. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On first, again, they go with Bunker. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On 2nd down, here's Keenum. Drops it underneath for Booker. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's Booker. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Devontae Booker, a 13-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
McManus's point after is good, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's Devontae Booker that's able to finish it off with a touchdown. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Well, these Seahawks heading out here on offense. Let's talk about last year. One to forget, Charles, in the Pacific Northwest. 7-9, a seat on the couch in January for these players, and that broke a streak of 5 straight seasons of double-digit victories and a playoff berth.
And I think they lost their identity a little bit along the way. On offense, they've always been a run-first team, establish a line of scrimmage, and bludgeon people. They didn't have that at all. Their offense ran through Russell Wilson, and he was magical, led the league in touchdown passes, but they are at their best when they're able to run the ball first and take control. On defense, age caught up with them. The Legion of Boom, no longer the same, and many of those guys will not be with the team in 2018. They will be starting over, but they have a smile on their face. I think this is a challenge that their head coach Pete Carroll relishes, and they look forward to being the underdog in the NFC West.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's McKissick. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. The offense trots back onto the field, and we take an in-depth look at Royce Freeman. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
And now running right through it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
They'll run with Booker. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Now a first down throw, Keenum. And a sideline pass, that's caught by Thomas. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An out cut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Booker. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Play action. Now it's Keenum. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The 4-time Pro Bowler, Cam Chancellor. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. A shotgun snap for Keenum. This is Booker on the dump off. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th.
That goes in the category of a play that the defense is going to cherish and excites them. A completion, yes, you give up the pass, but no gain. I mean, that's exactly what you want on defense.
And sets up the 4th down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And McManus able to put it through, and that will knot us up at 10. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there. When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose, and boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. It was Darian Stewart that time who was able to knock the pass away.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now a fair catch taken, maybe a yard or 2 shy of midfield. That'll go for only 17 yards on the punt, and it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
So 2nd in inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Keenum finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right?
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
the Seahawks offense now. They get ready to come back onto the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They will run it. It's McKissick. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. To play in a tightly contested first half. Back to Denver right after this. A reminder coming up at the half, we hook up with a new guy, Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis, and more importantly this year, scores and stats from around the league here in Week 1. So do not press that skip button. On 2nd down, Wilson. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. And the Seahawks on 3rd down, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. From the gun, it's Wilson. Completes it to Dixon. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson pushing his way inside the 40. This complete to Lockett. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's Wilson. And Lockett with a grab over the middle. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk 1st down. Now Wilson on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And it's 2nd down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside the quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where is he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Back to the air. Keenum on 2nd down. Looking again for Thomas. This time complete. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
Let's go.
On second down, here's Keenum to the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. Now they tried to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be third down.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. All right, so the timeout over, and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And Dixon over the middle. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Good to see this man running again. Here's Chris Carson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend, as we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family. It's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season, so let's take our first trip around the NFL. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And we'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Now Case Keenum and the offense heading back onto the field. And the first half was not kind to him, and he knows that. 3 interceptions, but still tied, so kind of a clean slate.
I'd say it's a reprieve, because ordinarily you throw 3 interceptions, your team should be behind. So he has to be thinking to himself, okay, I'm off the hook for that one. I have to play better for my team here in the second half.
And pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. Keenum again here on 2nd and 10. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
They'll have a first down past the 40. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down. Now a play fake here on first down. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll fake the handoff. Now Keenum. He's going to air one out. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
They'll go again with McKissick. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
They go play action here on first down. Looking for his big receiver, Marshall. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He was trying to hit his big receiver, Brandon Marshall.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Denver getting set to take the field. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Keenum to throw on 2nd down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 15. Thomas, the intended target. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range. But boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
So the Broncos coming out now. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to. And if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. On 2nd down, Freeman. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. It was Jaron Reed who got him down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, here's Keenum. And incomplete here on third down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And out now come the Seahawks. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Now it's Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Marshall, the intended receiver. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. It's then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. And Denver getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They fake the handoff. Now Keenum. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. The Broncos on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Keenum. And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Keenum now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run with D'Angelo Henderson. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And down inside the 15 he goes. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Freeman again, a first down carry. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Two of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They come up in an offset eye. They'll look to run with Freeman. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And I think the offense got it back. Yes, they did. At the 2-yard line is where they'll have it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. They come out here in the eye. He'll get it up the middle. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. And McManus able to put it through. And they will take the lead at 13-10. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And some room to roam now. And he'll take it across midfield and down the 48-yard line. They were looking for Marshall that time. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It can be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these 2 teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Here's Freeman, and he'll get this down only to the 18. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 8. Again, it's Henderson. And he's got the 1st down as he gets it to the 8. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll run here with Freeman. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stock troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
They'll give it to him up the middle. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at the...
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And McManus able to put it through, and that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
The Seahawks were the most penalized team in the NFL last year, more than 9 a game, and now they've got 1st and 15. Now Wilson. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Jaron Brown, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Von Miller in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. The number 2 pick back in 2011, Von Miller still doing his thing.
Boy, is he ever. If I were an offensive tackle, I don't know what I would do. I would tell the tight end he's got to stay in on all passing situations and help me out because he's got every move imaginable. One of the quickest guys off the ball in the league, and he's going to get to the quarterback.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the shotgun, Wilson over the middle here to Brown. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taking it about the 36. So a change of possession here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. The offense trots back onto the field, and we take an in-depth look at Royce Freeman. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Some good games around the league here early in week one, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. Now Freeman, he's been busy today, and he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Keenum on 3rd down. Got an open man. It's Fumagalli. And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Freeman. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
I know retirement ceremonies, a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts, but don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, I'm on the wrong side of 32.
You okay? You feeling all right?
I'll be all right.
Okay, good.
I just need some chocolate and a box of tissues. On 3rd down, it's Freeman. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
Right back to him on 1st down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Oh,
that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. A 20th carry now for Freeman. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. And now they'll throw with Keenum. It's the first touchdown pass as a Bronco for Case Keenum. And the Broncos push further out in front.
Although it's more commonplace now than at any other time in the NFL, it's still tough to think about throwing a rookie quarterback right into the fire week 1. But guess what? He handled the fire awfully well and threw his first touchdown pass.
The offense going to stay on the field as they will line up and go for 2. A shotgun snap for Keenum. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you're trying to throw quick hitters, quick slants, you know, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, Wilson. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson completes it to Dixon. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd. Throwing is Wilson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Again, Wilson. And the tight end Dixon left side. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. Now it's Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. Flashy little move, but unable to reach the 40. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game. To throw again is Wilson. And Dixon over the middle. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. Here's Wilson to throw. Over the middle, and it's caught. Brandon Marshall. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. So it looks like somebody may have forgotten the snap count, and a 5-yard penalty ensues.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5. They were looking good on second down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. Wilson will throw again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Seahawks on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing again here, Wilson. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. So the false start will back them up 5.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. Looks like the offense is going to take another shot here. They're going on 4th and 13. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the corner, Tremaine Brock. He was trying to hit his big receiver, Brandon Marshall. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Freeman again. Wiggles free, and he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the Broncos, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they'll get another home date next week as the Raiders will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis.